Do we look good? Do I look stupid with the headphones?
Yes.
Do I? Should I take them off?
No, that's going to make you look stupid
on,
still.
so you probably should.
No, let's take a vote. Who thinks I should keep my headphones on?
Can you hear all of us?
Yes, I can.
I would take them off.
Okay,
You
I'll
look
take
like,
them off.
I mean, unless we all had them on and it looks uniform. Otherwise,
You guys don't sound professional at all anymore.
I thought about bringing some. I didn't know. But then
No,
I was
that's
like,
not
they
this
didn't
kind of
wear any
production.
last time.
We don't do that here.
He doesn't have enough connections. We're too poor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Lovely Talks. And boy, oh boy, do we have a doozy for you. We got Bobby, we got Johnny, and for the first time ever on any kind of media platform, Jay Whatley.
This is my first time meeting you guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've never met
Cool.
before.
I think everything that was said just now is not right.
No, we're moving on.
Stop being so quiet.
I like your mic stand. You guys have really great stuff.
Can we get a close-up on that?
Can you?
That's
That's the mic stand.
This mic was given to us by Raising Cane's on.
That's actually not true. I have
Street
to
Park
legally
closure
say that's
somewhere?
not true.
That's legally not true.
Legally not true, but I would love for it to be true.
Yeah.
Also, Bobby's watching sports.
I'm not.
Again,
I'm not. The
we're
sport-
doing a
the
podcast
sports-
with Whatley,
the
who we've never
sports-
met.
The sports are here. My eyes are there. I cannot be watching sports if they're there.
Do you tell your wife these kind of things? Like, I'm paying attention, babe, but you're like elsewhere. You have like a TV on. You're playing video games.
How's your day been?
This is off to a really great start. So, hey, wait, actually, I was going to say before we dive in, we're going to be here for a while.
Yes.
Can I do one thing?
You're
going to
try to pee?
No. I just needed to get one thing that's a personal thing for me.
Okay, go.
You cool with that?
Let's shoot it.
I know we'll be here for a while.
Get the blurs ready.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't
brought
like this at
something.
all.
For myself.
Oh, he brought his own mic.
Did he
Apparently,
bring
he
his
just
own mic?
unplugged his mic.
Oh,
Come on. That is-
oh. He's got the golden tip mic.
Is this thing on?
You know what? I'm
Is
gonna
it
put my
working?
headphones back on to make sure.
This is
Say
like
something, Whatley.
It's just a personal thing for me.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Do you need your...
It doesn't sound as good.
No, definitely not.
You don't? Okay.
Oh, it sounds as good.
He's got a golden mic.
I carry it everywhere I go. You never know when.
That's like a $300 bit.
Yeah, you like that?
That's too costly.
That's too costly. This studio
This was-
cannot afford that.
It was worth it. Actually, they said you guys would reimburse me for any bits.
I just want to point out how much worse you're making Bobby's mic stand look
Yeah.
next to a golden tipped mic.
Yeah.
He may have a golden mic.
Because he's wearing a Mississippi State hoodie, I had to.
Oh, we'll get into that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll talk
So
about
first,
it in
I
a minute.
wanted to
I
address
figured.
some local sad news. Notini's Italian restaurant is going out of business.
That's right. No more teenies.
No more
No more teenies.
Where am I going to get my giant meatballs?
Yeah, and those delicious raviolis. I love the raviolis.
I never had the raviolis.
I have never been.
They closed November 16th.
What a surprise! Bobby's
Hasn't
never been
seen
somewhere.
any of the greatest
hasn't
movies.
seen or God, man, I just can't stand you. As
We
a
might
person.
actually have to take you to Notini's and do a podcast in Notini's.
Wait,
I
like,
bet they would like that.
They would love that. We'll have the
Wait,
guy
wait.
on and everything.
When did they shut down?
No, November 16th.
Oh man, yeah. So,
Yeah, so-
that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take you there and
No,
force.
Tina's is great. I mean, that was genuinely sad.
You wrote an article on it.
I did.
Did you cry during the writing of that?
I cried when I saw the Well, I didn't cry, but I mean, I was upset when I saw the Facebook post that Notini's made because people have been saying for months that they're closing.
Really?
What's funny about what I'm saying?
He just looked at me weird. I don't know why. So we went there not long ago, and we talked to the owner, and he didn't give any indication like it was closing. He was like, "Yeah, business is good, etc."
So
Yeah.
here's what I've heard. Maybe you can confirm or deny. The gentleman that runs Notini's has just decided to retire and not renew his lease. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Like he was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I've had a good run.
As a person in the food industry for nearly 13 years now, I feel his pain. I can't stand being in the restaurant industry. It's completely awful.
Now imagine 40 years of that.
Yeah, I'm glad he's retiring. He
I
needs
feel-
to go out on a high note, man.
I feel more sad about the restaurant that has to step in the shoes of the Notini spot.
They should replace Notini's with Yes Teenies. It'd be a more positive version of Notini's.
Not like that.
What do you think? We should do.
It'll probably be like a Cricket Wireless or something.
Yeah, it probably will be. It'll be that, or it'll be like a cell phone repair store.
But
Or
I grew
like-
up in Notini's. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is that my dad and me and my mom, etc. My sister. I have a sister. We don't really talk about her. We used to go to Notini's, and we would eat there all the time. We basically bled spaghetti. That's what I'm saying. Sketty, your favorite. He loves some sketty.
You can go get some sketty. Actually, this is gonna be kind of sucky to say on the podcast, but that was like a date spot for me, man. I would take like.
Why is that sucky
first
to say on a
dates.
podcast?
Well, because like now there's gonna be like 4 or 5 women out there that go, God,
Oh, you mother?
yeah.
Oh man, he just
took
had a
me to
checklist. He knew he was going there and then there.
But yeah, that was like a date spot because it was so great. Like
Yeah.
go in, it's a really calm ambiance of a place, and I loved it. It was awesome.
How because the only other Italian place I've been to that isn't Olive Garden is it's in Bossier. Is it what Little Italianos? I think it is.
Yeah.
How is it compared to that? Because I've been there.
Well, Little Italianos is a little more expensive. It's more. It's trying to creep up on fine dining.
Is it gourmet?
So
It
would you,
is. It's very good
so would you say Notini's is more of a mom and pop sort of place?
for sure. Yeah. And
What would you say, Whatley?
I love Notini's. Before I say what I'm about to say, I don't mean it in a bad way. But when we were talking about it in the office yesterday, Notini's was like, I want fast food, but I want Italian.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a
could
bad
agree with
way.
that. It's top-notch food.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about going to eat Italian, you think about like sitting down, having a nice dinner and stuff. And this was a place that you could go eat lunch real quick, and it would be Italian.
It was like a borderline, what is it, Applebee's? Because they had all this stuff on the wall. Like it looked like you walked into an Applebee's, but then they served you like really good Italian food.
Like a shenanigans.
Shenanigans, that's
There you
it.
go.
Shenanigans. So, Bobby, you have something you want to talk about. Can you lay it out for us?
So, in scouring the internet, I'm going to pause my game.
Yeah,
for you guys.
he's watching sports.
No, I'm not. I just said I was.
Every time.
So, in scouring the internet, I found a survey that was done by Satellite Internet. I'm not sure how.
That's what it's called, satellite internet. That's
No.
like the stupidest name I've heard.
That's the.
What do we call our company?
That's
I
the
don't know.
group
Does
of
it come from
people-
a satellite? Satellite internet. Hey, dude.
Yeah.
That's the group of people that decided to do this survey. And I guess through their service, they were able to do surveys and see what games were the most popular this year in the United States per state. So
Is this mobile or PC?
Again, Whatley's asking because he's like the king of mobile, apparently. PUBG Mobile.
to my knowledge, this is any game, console, I guess, or PC that connects to the internet.
And mobile.
Maybe.
Just wondering.
No.
There are people that want to know.
So I'm sure that people of Louisiana would like to know what the most played game in their state is. I will give you each one guess. Starting with you, Josh. What do you think the most played game in this state is? I'll
So
tell
we're
you this.
including mobile. So if I say something like
any platform.
if I say something like Candy Crush,
Wait.
is that close?
Wait, I'm going to scour the map and see if I see any
yeah,
mobile
there's
games.
okay.
So I don't. There are no mobile games.
Okay,
on
no
this.
mobile
No
games.
mobile.
So
No
strictly
mobile, okay.
console and I guess PC. Now, I'll help you out by saying this. It's not a game specifically that the three of us play.
Oh, man.
Maybe Whatley, I don't know.
Louisiana. What is your most
Okay, I'm
played
gonna take a
game?
wild stab in the dark.
Go for it.
DayZ.
Daisy.
That is a wild stab in the dark.
I think that's what it's called, right? It's a zombie slash
That is the
battle
game.
royale?
That is the game you're talking about.
Yes.
It is not the correct answer.
Oh, well, that was my guess.
That was a bad
Johnny,
guess.
what do you think the most played game in our state is?
Louisiana, in our state.
Here, I'll give you some surroundings.
Keep going, yeah.
I'll give you some surrounding states. All right, our neighbors to the left of us, Texas. What do you think theirs was?
Call of Duty.
Fortnite.
Whoa,
Fortnite.
Those damn Texaners and their Fortnite.
Oklahoma, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Fortnite for Arkansas. Call of Duty Modern Warfare for Tennessee.
This doesn't help us at all, man.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare for both Georgia and Florida.
Louisiana and
Just
Mississippi.
guess.
It's
I
the
think you
same
should guess probably Fortnite. I'm just gonna look this up myself and just say the answer.
I'm going to look
It's on
up
PC and
satellite internet.
Satellite internet.
for Diablo 3.
You would be wrong.
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
That is correct.
What?
Oh my God!
Damn, I was going to say Red Dead Redemption, but that's so new.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
So that is the most popular game for Louisiana and Mississippi.
Wow.
And
I
only
totally
us.
believe that.
Only those two states.
You gave great hints, too,
that's
by
why
the way.
that's why there's so much looting whenever hurricanes come through.
So
They're very trained.
here's some.
A lot of hijacks going on.
So here's some, I guess, random tidbits. We'll throw some states out there. Alaska, apparently very, very big on World of Warcraft.
There's nothing else to do out there.
Hawaii, very big on League of Legends, apparently.
yeah.
Let's go with New York. New York, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive. Funny enough, they're the only state that's like...
I was going to say.
Red Dead Redemption 2 for Montana. I can believe
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that makes
100%.
sense. That one correlates.
So,
When you get off the ranch, you go inside and get on the ranch, you know? You just can't get away from
take care
that
of my
life.
horses and then go take care of my horses.
so for the majority of the Northeast, you have Fortnite and Call of Duty, with Ohio being the only one that's like, oh yeah, but I like Rocket League, guys.
Ohio is Rocket League?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the whole East Coast, Fortnite,
That's
Fortnite,
awesome.
Fortnite, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Rocket League. So
No PUBG love for any state?
No PUBG Mobile.
No
Some-
PUBG Mobile?
some
If
more-
they did one just for Shreveport.
some more
PUBG
notable,
Mobile.
like, okay, out of nowhere, Apex Legends is apparently big in South Dakota.
Yeah, because South Dakota sucks.
Oregon, the only state that loves Monster Hunter World, apparently.
Monster Hunter World?
What is that?
What
I've
is-
never
yeah.
heard of that.
It's a game.
Is it like
Well,
Pokemon?
no, it's like it's this world where you
Nope.
hunt monsters.
No.
What state is this?
Oregon.
Yeah, they're a bunch of weirdos up there.
They're all cousins. They were like, hey, you should get this game.
Did
and then
you
it
know
spread.
something interesting about Whatley here, our guest? He's actually one of the #1 mobile.
This isn't a
PUBG
joke.
players.
You guys think it's a joke.
I don't believe you.
He's ranked like 800.
I'm top. I haven't checked in a couple weeks. I might be better than that. Last
Were
time I
you
checked,
ever
I was
number
top
one?
800. No, I mean, no.
How many games do you win? Like if you
If I played a game right now, I'd win it.
so in 10
9
games,
out of 10.
9 out of 10 games you win.
I'd lose a PUBG Mobile game if there was some like screwery. You know what I'm saying? I can't say the word that I want to say right here, but I would lose if there's
So-
some BS in there.
So
you know,
you you never, just to understand, you never lose because of you.
yeah, because I'm just that good.
Okay, that sounds like a sore loser.
No.
How do you play? Do you play with any kind of enhancements on your phone?
I have the button set up in a certain way that works for me. I'll play like 2 or 3 games a day. If I'm playing duos, you know, sometimes that's a little tougher. But if it's a solo game, me straight up, I'll win it. I could play right now and win by the time this podcast is over. I'm not trying to brag. Okay.
Well, we can let you. Keep
I know
talking.
it sounds like I am.
I've only played one game of PUBG Mobile, and I won it. But I hit in a bush the last like 5 minutes of the game, and everybody died.
But I get flack when I hide in a tree on Apex Legends.
So I kind of
I
want
didn't
to.
hide in that bush until there were like 7 people left. All right, you hid in the tree
no.
like in the very beginning.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No more.
I still won.
I want to do a follow up with Bobby from the last podcast. We had a deep discussion about how he hasn't seen a lot of movies. Our dear Bobby, right here, Bobby Schmolo. That's his last name legally.
Schmuck is what we're changing it to.
But we also learned that our guest here, Whatley, hasn't seen some of the same movies.
Yeah, I wanted to say that the first podcast you guys did was so great. Like I enjoyed
you.
it. It was awesome.
Appreciate that.
That's why I harassed you for a week straight about getting on the next one. Yeah.
I didn't get those emails. They go straight to spam.
Oh, as they should. No, I enjoyed that part of it because you guys are dogging my boy Bobby so hard, and I'm sitting in my car like, well, I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen. I think he saw a few more than I had seen. He got the sports movies down. I haven't even seen those.
You've seen Star Wars, though.
Yes,
At least you've seen that.
I have.
That's the most iconic movie in
But
it's gotta be.
I saw
right?
Star Wars for a specific reason, and I hadn't seen any Star Wars until 2015. Not one. And then if you guys remember, that was the first year for GeekCon. And so their big headliner was Peter Mayhew, who plays Chewbacca in all the Star Wars, who just passed away recently. They have a big panel for Peter Mayhew where thousands of people are going to line up to hopefully ask him a question or just listen to the man talk, and they needed a host for this panel.
So as
They
a part
asked
of his
Tim
job,
Fletcher.
So as a part of his
He was
job,
busy.
he did research.
No, absolutely not. Completely wrong. I did no research. They asked me, can you do the panel? Have you seen it? I said, yeah, no, I'm a huge fan. I'm in. I just wanted to do the panel.
You didn't know anything
It's a
about it.
room, 1,000 people that would kill a man to meet Peter Mayhew, and the only one that gets to talk to him is a guy who has never seen a second of Star Wars.
You know what's interesting is I saw that interview, and most of the talking is just Whatley. I think Whatley really wanted his name to be known on that
true.
stage.
That's 100%. Look, I'm not okay. So we get done, and I kind of led on to Peter Mayhew afterwards behind the stage that I had never seen it. I was kind of bragging to him that I just totally nailed this interview with you without knowing anything about you. It wasn't like that, but we were talking, and I led on that I haven't seen it. He was like, "Oh, okay, well then you'll love the next one." This was 2 months or 3 months before the first of the new Star Wars comes out. He says, "Well then you'll love this. Han dies in the new one." That's what he says.
Spoiler alert.
Means nothing to me. But I'm also like, okay, well, he obviously doesn't die. Like, he wouldn't say that. So then I felt so bad after the fact. I went back that week and watched all of them in timeline order. And then I watched the new one in theaters when it came out. And Han dies. I was like, this jerk ruined something for me that I didn't even know could be ruined.
Did you build a relationship with Han as the movies went on?
No.
Were you sad that he died?
You're not a Harrison Ford fan?
No.
What?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
No, I am. I mean, I love Peter Mayhew. Is such a nice dude. Like he was nice then, and we kind of stayed in loose contact here and there. The old guy,
Yeah.
but had a lot of health problems. But he was so nice and cool dude. So I really just loved watching him because of him.
Bobby, what's your thoughts on Star Wars?
Man, it's okay. When did this series come out?
Like the 70s.
Okay,
The first one.
You would think by now they would have called a truce. I mean, there's only so many wars you can have in the stars. Do they call a truce at some
Can you
point?
give us your hot take on what you think Star Wars is?
I
Much like
think-
what you did for Rick and Morty.
So, okay.
He's never seen Star
Just
Wars.
from the clips
No.
you've seen of Star Wars. Just from the few clips
Okay.
that you've seen.
I got this. I can nail this because I know enough of it to get me in the ballpark. I may not be in the right ballpark, but I'm there. Star Wars is about a man who is also a little boy at one point, but becomes a man.
like most men.
but becomes a man, and then his daddy's mean and evil and wears a lot of black. Also, he is the leader of some kind of evil organization. There's a lot of glow sticks in space that.
Wait, what is happening right now? Did you just asked him to give his take on it?
Yeah,
He's
and
just
you're
trying
just
to give
giving
a
us the
rundown of the
weird
movie.
plot
We've
line.
seen the movie. We don't need you to give us
Yeah,
a
what
rundown
do
of
you
what you
think of
think
it?
it is.
But I
think of the
thought you
movie?
nailed it up to that point.
Okay. All right. What I think of it, even though I haven't seen it, I bet it's good.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, did you want to like?
I wanted
let's-
to rank
Yeah,
the
let's
Star
rank.
Wars.
Do you even want to do it anymore?
I want him to rank the Star Wars based on their titles
Their
alone.
titles, yeah. Okay, so let's do
So
it.
I have the titles right here in
I
front
like
of
this.
me. All right.
Wait,
so
how many movies are there?
there's
9.
About
that
8.
we've seen.
yes.
Well, yeah,
there's
8
8.
we've seen.
Okay.
9 is
So how am I doing this?
I have the list right here.
But let's
look at the list.
Wait, are we gonna read them off to him? Or
Well,
is he
he's
just
not going to
look at 'em?
remember them, so just give him the list so he can see them.
Oh,
But we can list them off. I want him to list them off and then say I like these.
okay.
Yeah, list them off from
It's at the
your
bottom.
least favorite
It's the
to
bottom
your
8.
very favorite.
Okay. All right. So least favorite of these. Okay.
There's not one in there. I forgot one.
Okay.
It's
well,
called The Last Jedi.
Well, my least favorite thus far is going to be The Empire Strikes Back. And that's solely because it told me what's going to happen in the movie. I know that there's an empire and it's going to strike back. I've already learned most of the movie from the title.
Aren't all the
That's the
titles
worst
like
one
that?
so far. Okay.
all
Also,
the titles are like
Return of the Jedi would be my next least favorite because again, there's going to be a Jedi. There's a Jedi, and he's going to return.
Well, he also has one he forgot called The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
That's another one.
That would be next because guess what? There's one Jedi left, and I bet it's him. So, all right. Okay. Attack of the Clones. That
What do you think happens there, Bobby?
well, if I had to give an educated guess, there will be several clones attacking.
At least several.
I would say, okay, all right, we're getting kind of interesting here. The Phantom Menace. You know what? I'm at the moment. That's going to be the top for me.
That gives you a little mystery. Is that what it is?
Hi, everybody. We're doing a podcast. Because I don't know.
Oh, they saw your cup. They know.
They know.
Sponsored.
It's professional.
Raising Cane's.
It's not sponsored legally.
You just have to say that.
So the Phantom Menace, that's an interesting premise because I don't know what that means, and it could mean anything. How about Revenge of the Sith? Well, when I know who the Sith is, I'm pretty sure he's going to get revenge. I'm not really feeling
So that's
that.
not a favorite.
That's not.
That's on the bottom.
Solo, our Star Wars story. I thought all of these were Star Wars stories. Am I wrong now?
No, you're right. That one's barely a Star Wars
Is this
story.
like a documentary? Is this like Cloverfield style?
It probably
They
would have been a
follow
better
around?
film if it was a documentary.
Rogue One. I kind of dig that. It's suspenseful. It sounds like someone's going rogue. Who's it going to be? Kind of like that. So I would say Rogue One and The Phantom Menace. Only because
So which one's your favorite Star Wars movie of all time?
Based on title.
Based on title.
Based on title alone.
the Phantom Menace. Because that sounds like
Phantom
something.
Menace.
That sounds like something that could be cool.
You couldn't have picked a worse one.
I know.
That's like the worst one.
If you pick
Said it.
The Empire Strikes Back as your least,
Yes.
that's like the best
that
one.
was the best.
But you knew what was going to happen from the title.
No one will ever watch this podcast or listen to it again. It is ruined forever.
Well, okay.
That couldn't have gone better or worse.
It was better worse.
It was better or worse.
Does anyone want to list their favorite then?
I would just like to say I watched the prequels first. So my first introduction into Star Wars was the prequels. Phantom Menace included in that, which everyone hates, or they're told to hate it.
Why do they hate it?
Why
So
don't you
for other-
watch it to find out?
For other people like me that have not seen it, why do they hate
So
it?
my point in saying it, that was the first thing I watched is the prequels, and then I watched the originals, and then I watched the new ones in theaters. I actually enjoyed the prequels.
Me too.
Watch them in chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I enjoyed them too.
I liked them. There were some shifty characters, little Jar Jar Binks action. A lot of people didn't like
I know
that.
character. I'm familiar with that character.
Where would you rank him as far as name?
That's like a name I would have came up with off top of the
Jar
head.
Jar Binks.
Just like,
So very bottom tier off name. Is he an important character?
unfortunately, he is.
Yeah.
And some believe he's the most important character.
They think he's a Sith Lord.
I was gonna say
Like
they
the
like there's
ultimate
like
Sith
there's
Lord.
like a bunch of like lore and stuff on how he's just the ruler of everything.
Jar Jar Binks sounds like intergalactic Willy Wonka to me.
Well, Willy Wonka.
That's a hard ER.
That's racist.
Well,
Easy.
I like our hot take on that. I do want to know what our least favorite Star Wars is. Like real quick. Like what was your least favorite of all time?
Based
Whatley.
on
Yeah.
oh,
no.
well,
In
well,
real life, the ones we've seen. Because you've seen the new ones.
Yeah, but I'm bad with the names. I didn't like the first of the new ones.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Isn't that everybody's like least favorite one?
No, that was one of my favorites.
Who's the one? Who's the J.J. Abrams? He's the one
Yes.
directing. Who was the one that directed
The next one after that?
No. There was one in between the new one and the last one. J.J. Abrams directed. There's
The Last
a
Jedi.
new director for one of those.
Yeah,
movies.
Ryan Johnson.
Is that who it was?
I hated that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one's the most awful
Yeah.
Star Wars I've seen.
Me and Melissa's dad, Joe, went and saw it. And he doesn't really know much about Star Wars. But when he went, after the movie, we sat in the car, kind of let it sink in. He was like, what the hell was that? What?
He knows tons about Star Wars.
Okay, camera person, can you not talk to us while we're doing this? So he knows a lot about Star Wars, apparently. And he saw the film and was like, what the hell happened? What was that? And that was my second time seeing it because the first time I couldn't believe how bad it was. I felt very betrayed.
It's like opposite Avatar effect.
Yeah.
It was
I
so
left
bad you had to see it again.
I couldn't speak. It was weird. It was a weird day after that. It was probably a weird week after that.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, The Last Jedi?
I don't remember hating it. I just didn't like the first one.
Okay, Johnny, you
Yeah.
got a question for Bobby?
I do have a question for Bobby. I'm just curious. In the last podcast, we were giving words to Jacob about fathering, and you said that the baby needs to recognize the house, needs to have house recognition. And Josh asked why, and you said, "Well, have you ever seen the movie Taken?" And I'm just wondering, have you ever seen the movie Taken?
I have not.
Oh God, Bobby, you're so disappointing.
Wait.
You're so disappointing.
Wait.
I fought for you. I fought for you. Said no way that he has not at least
Hold
seen
on.
Taken, the
Hold
movie
on.
he referenced.
Hold Hold on.
You reference a movie you haven't even seen.
Hold on. This is on. I need you to hold it. Listen.
All time best joke from Bobby. Every podcast from now on, that's the best joke.
Was the reference not accurate for the situation?
You based it off of the name of the title Taken.
My point in the previous episode was I am aware of the movies and their concepts and their ideas and the plots and the characters. Just because I don't see it doesn't mean I don't know what it's about.
I am severely disappointed in you.
Dude's daughter gets taken. That's
fought
accurate.
for you because I got on the phone with him yesterday and I was like, hey, Bobby referenced this movie last podcast and I don't think he's seen it. Sorry.
Thanks. I'm gonna have to edit that out.
I had to edit.
But I
half of this out.
fought for you for like 20 minutes. I was like, no, he's seen it. At least the first one, not the other 2 or 3.
There are 3? Wow. I did not know that.
What do you think happens in the other ones?
So doing the Star Wars thing again, I guarantee you she gets taken twice. And at that point, it's not so much her fault as he's just a bad parent.
Look, Liam Neeson's is extremely good at finding you.
But not good at protecting you.
He's extremely good at losing you and then finding you.
That's his talent. So
got
he
that
loses
nailed.
you, and then he finds you. It's a challenge for him, really.
I would like a challenge for you to reference movies that you have never seen before in every podcast episode, and see if you can keep it as accurate as possible.
I think I can do
Like
that.
work in a Phantom Menace reference during this podcast.
We're gonna hold you to it. Keep that in your memory bank.
And you have to try to make it relevant. I don't know how you're going to make it relevant.
No, I've already got a way. Of
course he does.
It has
So-
to. It has
Of course
to
he does.
follow the. Actually, I could do this episode. It just has to follow the right way.
Oh, this episode has.
Well,
to.
we're gonna move on because we got some heavy-duty questions for our guest today, Jay Whatley.
Mr. Whatley.
Mr. Whatley.
This is exciting. Is there a bit coming? I don't think we've ever done anything that.
It's actually serious talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So my first question I want to ask deals with the last podcast we talked about fatherhood and things like that. You're a very busy person. You're constantly doing things. You're a personality on radio. You do weddings. You're a DJ.
Yeah.
How do you manage your time as far as your personal and your business?
Yeah. I work, probably 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And then the clubs, Friday night, a wedding rehearsal. Then Saturdays, I always have a wedding. Got to leave here and go to a wedding. I'm dressed appropriately, though, right? Looking good?
Very.
And then
very
the
good.
club tonight. And then I have 2 daughters. So I think a lot of times I don't like that because I don't have a lot of time with them or as much as I'd like. But at the same time, like whenever I'm not working, so like at night when I get home and I have the girls, like it's 100% the girls. It's not PUBG Mobile. It's not working on my computer. It's like, what do you guys want to do tonight? And we do that every single day. So, the other day they wanted Chuck E. Cheese. We went to Chuck E. Cheese. The next night, I said, what do you want to do tonight? Please, dear God, don't say Chuck E. Cheese again.
What's funny is like he's boggled down with all this, yet he still has time to make it in the top 800 in PUBG Mobile.
In PUBG, yeah. Some would say his daughters are hindering him from getting the top 10.
I would say that myself. I mean, imagine the late night game time I could get in, because that's just like lunch break games. I'll run them at the radio station. Because at the radio, like I tell people all the time, I don't really work hard. It's just like long. Like there's always somewhere I have to be or something I have to do. And there's not really a day, not one single day where I don't have to be somewhere at some time to do something. But it's never hard work. Like even radio, I'm up there all day. But a lot of that is just writing, articles or creating videos or doing a radio show in the afternoon. None of that is like nonstop. It's not like I'm working.
So how do you get your vacation time?
Yeah. Well, I have a lot. I got a lot of that.
Are you going to spend it?
You don't really have, you don't
I've got 6 weeks vacation time to take. I haven't taken a week yet this year, and I get 6 a year. So I haven't taken any, but it doesn't roll over. So I have to do it. So I think basically what I'm saying is I'm not going to work at all from November on.
Well, you'll come to the podcast and work for us.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Johnny, talking to the mic.
I am.
You're facing him, talking to the mic.
Oh.
Thank you.
You'll come and do the podcast with us when you're vacation.
I can hear
We're
you much better now.
professionals.
Yes. For
So
sure.
I have another question for you. Put you on the hot seat. All 3 of us, went to high school together.
Did we?
Did we? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That's where I know you guys from.
Yeah.
this whole time for years, I'm like, man, I thought it
Well,
was...
we didn't talk to you because we thought you were a
You're a
loser.
weirdo. Yeah.
In high school, yeah.
You were a class clown by the definition.
Yeah.
You made everyone laugh in class. Does that kid from high school see who you are now and be like, yeah, that's what I want to be?
I think the kid from high school would be if he saw what would come. I think he'd be like, "That's cool," but I think he'd be a little disappointed, you know. But I think he'd be a little proud because I think when I was in high school, I started radio in my sophomore year, and I think I'll tell a really quick story. I know how much you guys love this. When I graduated high school, I had this plan. I was just going to move to a big city. I didn't know what city it was going to be. I was just going to get a little part-time job at a radio station in a big city, and I was just going to make it, right? And it's going to be great. I'm going to have a million fans and a lot of money, and it's going to be the awesome life, right? So in high school, I started sending out demos to the biggest radio stations in the world, certainly in the country. So all the big markets, all their big stations, I would just send them a demo. And it's not asking for a job. It's just... and I was so young, man. I was young and green, and I sounded terrible. I still have those clips, and you'll never hear them.
So
We'll find them.
hold on. So you were annoying these people with your audio clips?
Unintentionally.
I'm going somewhere. So you were annoying people with your audio clips.
Yeah.
So you were a phantom menace?
God, I knew it. I felt it.
I don't know if that's as accurate as the taken, but I'm impressed that you did it. I was a phantom menace to a lot of important people. So, but I was the most annoying to one person, apparently. So for years, I'm sending these demos off, and a lot of times you wouldn't hear anything. Sometimes you'd hear it's not asking for a job though. It's just, hey, I'm Jay in Shreveport. Here, just give me some pointers. Give me some advice. So you're not asking for a job. When I turned 17, I graduated high school, and I sent a demo off to the biggest radio station in the world, KISS in Los Angeles. I sent off the demo, and it was a good one. I was proud of it. I babied this thing for weeks. It's perfect, right? I also sent this demo off to other people, but I sent it off to KISS in LA. A guy named Jason Ivey's running the station. I sent it right to his personal email. 5 minutes later, I'm right across the street here in downtown Shreveport, that way, in my apartment, little studio apartment. 5 minutes after I click send, I get a phone call, Los Angeles. Heart's pumping, man. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. I turned the TV off. I'm like, I answer. It's Jason Ivey. This guy's the program director of the biggest radio station in the world. Hello? Hello? Jason Ivey, got your email. And then he proceeded for about 10 minutes to tell me to never send him anything again. It was the worst thing he had ever heard. How dare I think that I can send him my demos? He went in. Ooh. It was brutal. I'm getting upset on the phone with him.
How old were you?
Tell that 17.
Old enough to have your feelings hurt.
Yeah, for sure. So that was it. Hung up. And that was it. So my point in saying that, I think in high school, especially when you're new into a business like radio, I think you think it's accessible. I think you don't see a ceiling on your career. You think it's just going to be easy to go and do whatever. And then the next year, then I had my first daughter, and so the reason I say all of that is to say I think the high school version of me would have expected me to be doing better things when I'm 28 years old, or bigger things. But I think also, to be able to still make a career out of it in Shreveport and really, and also have children and support the children. I think he would be proud of that.
Yeah. Would you now? Obviously, some of your priorities changed with your first child, but would you say some of your goal priorities changed as well?
All of them, yeah. 100%. Because then it goes from wanting to go and be and work and do whatever you want to do and be the biggest that you can be. Then it changes really quick to, well, I have to pay bills this month, and I have to have the best clothes because it's a daughter, and she has to look cute, and she has to have everything in the world that she needs. And in Shreveport, you do that by working really hard in radio and working a lot of weddings and working the nightclub every single night that it's open, because you have to make money to support your children and
so
give
what
them
is your
a life.
Goal right now? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
I don't have one. I'm telling you, I don't. Like a career goal, I like what I'm doing. Shreveport's a really cool place to do what I do, Because if I were to go, people say all the time, why don't you just go to Dallas and New Orleans? Which I think I could. I think I could go to Dallas and make, and get a job and have the kids. It wouldn't be too far away. But the truth is, in a place like Dallas, there's 1 million people like me. I'm not saying that I'm anything special, but I'm saying there's 1 million people that'll DJ every night and they'll do it for less and they're probably better than I am. There's 1 million wedding DJs in Dallas and there's a lot of radio DJs too. In Shreveport, there's really not that many. So there's a handful of wedding DJs. There's not really any nightclub DJs. And a lot of the radio DJs you hear on the radio don't even live here.
So your apprehension is moving to another market, it being bigger, thus you need more to stand out.
I think it's hard. I think it would be much harder to make the same amount of money. And I'm not making a lot of money, but it would be harder to make the same amount of money I'm making now in a place like Dallas.
But do you think there is a wall that you can hit in Shreveport to where you can't reach a certain plateau because of how much you're working?
Yeah, I used to think that, but I think now I think of it differently because just 5 years ago, if you're a radio DJ, that's all you were. You did radio, so you're on the air for 4 hours a day, and so you only had 4 hours a day to connect with people and somehow create some kind of relationship where they'll keep listening and keep coming back. And back then, I'm like, man, the idea is you got to get big, you got to get syndicated, because how else are you going to grow anything? Because all you have is what you have. But now, look at what we're doing right now, man. We're doing a podcast, no telling how many people will end up seeing it or could potentially see it. Like with every video that I do for the radio station, it's like I don't make those videos to scratch my own back. Like I do it because it's a way to grow your brand outside of the 4 hours you're on the air. For 5 years ago, that wasn't even an option. So shoot, I'll stand by a horse for 3 minutes and put the video online, and 80,000 people will see it.
You never know what's going to take off.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why we keep making content, because you never know what's going to stick and then what's going to miss. And again, anyone who's out there who's trying to make videos and is like, you know what, I'm not having anything hit, you're going to make a lot more misses than you'll ever make as far as hits. Mm-hmm. That's a guarantee. So if you're making content and you're getting like 20 views, you have to keep posting, because you can only get better unless you're that rare person who just gets worse from posting videos. In which case, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
I didn't mean to.
You looked right at me.
So I had a question for Jay. Is like, what did you have any other passions before the DJ?
I loved baseball.
Were you any good?
I was.
We were actually on the baseball team together.
Yeah.
You played football too.
Believe it or
did.
not, like back in the day when in high school, I was kind of a lot more emotional, and I was a very big softie. And Jay was probably about 2 feet
off the ground
under me. He was much shorter than me, but he used to bully me.
That's not true.
That is so true.
It was playful. It's a Christian school. It's Christian bullying.
It was Christian bullying.
I used to hate Jay for a little while.
I made fun
That's
of him
true.
because he recited his Bible verses wrong every time. He just couldn't nail down the days.
Well, I'll give it to Jay. He made fun of everyone, but it was never like a harmful, like teasing. It was always like everyone can kind of laugh along.
laugh
it's,
at the person that he's making fun of.
I don't.
Technically.
Looking back, I don't. Because you're not the first person to say that. I'm not going to say any names, but I went to a drive-through the other day, like a fast food drive-through, and the guy that handed me my tacos was a guy that went to high school with us, and he was like, "Dude, glad to see you're doing well, but you're kind of a jerk in high school." And I just don't remember it like that. I think everybody would think the best of themselves. So it's like when I look back, I look at it like just kind of poking fun with everyone, and no one.
You were a big ball of energy, and I think that's why that had a negative effect on people, is because you were so boom in front of. And Tyler Moody was the same way, big ball of energy, and was joking around. And I don't think I think a lot of the teachers liked you. It was like the Apple Android argument. They either loved you or just really
That's
didn't
true.
like you.
Yeah.
So I was asking
You
about,
and I would play basketball together out. Like, you're going to make these people think that we
gonna
were
talk about basketball.
mortal enemies.
You serious?
We played basketball together.
He had this goal at his house
Yes.
that was awkwardly crooked in just the right spot, and he knew how to shoot on it. And he'd be like, "Come on, let's play, man." And I lived right down the street from him for a little while because I lived with
That's
Kyle.
not true.
Yeah, we had a match where it was me and Johnny and Whatley and Kyle. And Whatley was like, yeah, let's play some ball. And me and Johnny were on varsity basketball. We were balling.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're going to take this dude on and just wreck him
5'4",
in his own neighborhood.
Just
Could not make a shot.
We couldn't make any shots. He ended up smoking us 2 games in a row.
He didn't even shoot. He would just throw it up there, and it would hit the right spot, and just. He had Kyle on his team.
Kyle's
the most unathletic person in the world.
I was the neighborhood basketball shark for sure. My point in saying that, though, is I don't want anyone thinking that I was just a jerk in high school. I wasn't.
I love how
we
that's
were
the perfect
friends.
story. The perfect story to paint him in the right light and be like, no, but I was great though. I was a good guy.
But no, yeah. High school was really fun. I enjoyed going to high school at Evangel. I
bet you did.
I liked it. What does that mean?
Oh, I'm just saying. I bet you
I
did.
liked it. I played baseball, and then when I started working in radio, I quit baseball and just did that.
You saw a future in that, or would you find more?
I thought that I had a future in baseball, as silly as that sounds now, but I think everyone does. I think when you're playing sports, especially at a place like Evangel that is so sports-centric, I think everyone that goes there thinks that they're going to just go on and they're going to get a D1 scholarship, and then, the sky's the limit. So as soon as I got the radio job, that seemed like a more realistic thing at that point.
Speaking of the sports program, do you think they'll ever have a banner of your face at Evangel?
I don't.
No?
I don't.
I think we should petition to get Jay Whatley's face, because who else has done more for the community?
I'm on the Walnut Hill Hall of Fame. I'm not trying to brag or anything.
Oh, did you go to that alumni thing for
Yeah,
Evangel
yeah,
last
yeah,
night?
I was there.
They had an alumni thing for Evangel.
Yeah, I was not invited.
Yeah. I wasn't either. They're like, no.
You didn't even
we're not
graduate
sending
from
that.
Evangel. I did.
It was they had a baseball alumni thing last night.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that's what I got invited to.
Did you throw any pitches?
There was a home run derby,
Do you still have it?
and it was
you hit any home runs?
storming.
Oh, God.
Everyone else, like beforehand, they're in these old guys. They're in the cage taking hacks. I woke up in like skinny jeans and a leather jacket, looking good, I might add. These guys are in like athletic shorts and t-shirts. I'm like, what is the deal here? Like, just go in there and swing a couple times and have a couple laughs and get out of here. My point is, they took it really serious.
So
I didn't hit any home runs.
I had a
No, I knew that.
I had a thing I wanted to ask. I got into his career thing earlier, but I wanted what is this? How does this sound? I
Do you
wanted
want to
to
use
ask,
my mic?
Have you ever? I kind of do. Have you ever thought about? Because I could totally see you doing this, or see you trying to do it, or whatever. But like hosting a show, like
A late night?
Yeah, I could see Jay totally doing that.
I know Fairfield Studios, the guys, Clint McCommon and John Chambers, are so great. They had an idea not too long ago about doing like a late night style talk show just for Shreveport or regionally. And I think that would be cool. Like, I enjoy all of that stuff. It's just like, when it comes, a lot of ideas get thrown around, but it's like, all right, well, how much time is that going to take?
And
when
how
can
much
we do
money
it?
and-
and all of that. So I think a lot of ideas that I have, even just stupid little video shoots, it's like I have a great idea, but man, there's no way I can do it because it'll take this long to shoot and this long to edit, and I just don't have the time for that. But no, I love all that stuff, man. I did a TV show once for Fox. It was terrible. That's probably why it didn't last that long, but I enjoyed it.
What was it?
It was I can't even remember the name of it.
Of course, that's
It was
so
I Love-
convenient.
It was I Love the Arklatex, and it was just a lifestyle type show on Fox 33. And it was great, man.
Just to update the audience, if you hear noises, because there's a lot of noises going on, they're prepping for some Halloween parties this weekend. And you have something you want to say, Bobby? Are you going to do a movie reference that you haven't seen?
Are you addressing the audio in the background?
Yeah.
Yes.
Phantom Menace.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. So, Bobby, do you have a question for Whatley before I lay down the best question of the night?
Wait, I have my Fern questions that I want to ask. Do you want me to
Go
do
ahead,
that
riff
first?
them off.
Okay.
Go
This
The
for it.
Fern interview?
Yeah, this is the Fern interview.
One of my favorite internet bits of all time.
So Jay Whatley, you're a DJ for K94.5, and I would say that you've built up some success here in the city, wouldn't you?
I would.
Okay. A few questions I had is the first one is, do you ever feel like a sellout when you do those apartment commercials on the radio?
Not at all.
Not one.
Wait,
bit.
how much can you say how much of a discount they give you for that? It's pretty hefty? Or would you
From
like
my
more?
knowledge, it's been 3 different apartments and 3 different commercials. Is that correct?
No.
How many?
It was one apartment for like 7 years, and then a second apartment for the last like 8 months. Next. I don't feel like a
great.
sellout. You would do it, and so would everyone else
Yeah,
that you
why-
know.
Have you ever
Like, what am I selling out?
practiced a DJ voice? And if you did you ever do it in the mirror at any point?
No.
Are you sure?
I mean, I've talked to myself in the mirror, but not to practice my DJ voice.
Because you look like somebody that would practice a DJ voice in the mirror.
That was a funny one. I like the idea of practicing a voice in the mirror.
Yeah.
When is the last time that you ran a full mile without stopping?
That's just a dumb question. I don't know what you're trying to prove here.
I just want to know.
I ran a media like 100-yard dash.
Did the cigarettes help with your 100-yard dash?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wally doesn't smoke. I don't know what you're talking about. Next question.
I mean,
That's
are
all my
you?
questions.
I know you're not referencing. That's all you got. You've been hyping this up, and you asked me if I'm a sellout for living in an apartment for free, and if I can run 100 miles or whatever you asked.
He just said for free.
No, that's what you insinuated. I didn't say it. That's what you were
That's a
insinuating.
deal.
That's what
We
you.
got to start making some apartment
That's what you were insinuating.
commercials here.
He gets a free apartment.
We can
for
all live
those
together.
I
sellout
didn't say
commercials.
that. I didn't say
So
that.
he is a sellout.
So technically, he's
How
a
is that
sellout.
a sellout?
Because
And I
you
do-
got
I-
money.
I don't get it. I don't.
You're
live
selling
for free.
yourself out.
Phantom Menace.
Okay. Bobby's input for the last 20 minutes has been just this.
We can talk about the juiciness.
So here's the question of the day. Wally, why know you like Cowboys anymore?
You don't like the Cowboys?
You don't like the Cowboys? What happened? You were the biggest Cowboys fan.
You guys are doing that.
So he was a Cowboys fan.
Oh, he was the biggest Cowboys
he's a
fan.
diehard.
Yeah, diehard. Before,
I should have looked over at your stupid little note card because you've been hyping this last question up, and I'm thinking it's going to be something real fun. You know, we could all have a good laugh.
I mean, we can have a good
Is
laugh.
this why he's wearing the Mississippi State hoodie?
Were you a Mississippi State fan at any point?
No, never.
Okay.
Never once, actually. I didn't know they existed until about 5 years ago.
What brought them into the forefront of your mind?
Wow. Phantom Menace? Okay, I can do this.
Don't let this affect your friendship with me or Bobby. Just Josh.
Yeah, I'll take the brunt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not friends with you or Bobby anyways.
Oh, are we dragging up some past? Oh, sorry.
Ever since the last time we were in this room, we had such a great bit planned.
Oh, that's right.
don't
Wherever
remember
you guys
being in the room.
bailed on the live stream.
No, people ask me all the time about that, and I'm cool with talking about it because I can't. I got in my car last night to leave Big Country, and a group of people were yelling, "Dak Prescott!" as I drove off. So
How do they know?
everyone knows.
So this is
So
like a.
we should probably just get to the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just say I am friends with you guys, obviously. There's a lot of people who I am not friends with who ask me, and I'll never tell them. I was the biggest Cowboys fan you'd ever meet, for sure. For a long time.
Yeah, I know.
Go to all the games.
Don't you have like a tattoo?
No.
Now people think you do.
Know that if I did, it would have been removed so quickly. So quickly. Okay. Do you want everything? Is that what you're asking for
Just
here?
what you're willing to
What
talk
made
about.
you
We're
stop
not
being a
trying to-
fan of the
yeah.
Cowboys?
Okay, so for those who don't know, I dated a girl for 8 years. And she's the mother of my children. We were together for a long, long, long time. That's when I found out about Mississippi State. This was in 2015, maybe 2014, 2015. She has an ex-boyfriend who was the quarterback for Mississippi State, right? But that never really bothered me. Now they talked every now and then. So like I would find, the two talking or whatever, and I'd be like, who is this? Oh, and it's nothing. Couldn't find out he's a quarterback at Mississippi State. I'm like, well, who cares? No one cares about Mississippi State, no offense. But seriously, that's your thought. I think that would be anybody's thought when their girlfriend and the mother of their children is aggressively texting a quarterback of a college. It's like, well, thank God it ain't Alabama. I don't have to see him or hear about him, so it's fine. So flash forward maybe a year, 2 years. I'm actually with her. We're in Target, and I'm a huge Cowboys fan. They drafted Zeke, and oh my God, I was the happiest man in the world that day. I was so happy.
And then the fourth round
And then
comes.
the next day, or maybe it was even the day after that. So whenever the 4th round comes, I'm watching Draft Live coverage, and then bam, Cowboys select Dak Prescott, and I was like, golly. And that was when I was done. I was like, well, I can't watch them now because there were some other personal things that had happened, between them two and me. So like, well, great, I can't watch now. And then then last year we separated. Those two hung out here in Shreveport. He came in for a camp, and she was going out with a friend on like a Tuesday night, and then I stayed home with the girls. She came home at like 2 a.m, and then couldn't find out she was with him at local casino, and so that was it. Then
So
definitely never gonna root for the Cowboys again. You asked me, man, like how much,
So let's technically break it down.
I would like to clarify.
Yeah.
Your children's stepdaddy is an NFL quarterback?
No. Not at all. No. They hung out for about a month, and then he kicked her to the curb.
Oh,
That's
That's
brutal.
because now she has no options.
Screw this whole podcast, man. This is the worst.
So who's your team now? Who's the team you're
I
rooting
like
for?
the 49ers. I liked them, by the way, before they were good.
Then Jimmy Garoppolo came to town.
Yeah, but if Jimmy Garoppolo ever comes to Shreveport, I can tell you right now, I'm out. I like Trent Taylor went to high school with us.
Yep.
And
Is he still
plays
on the
for
49ers?
Mhm. He's hurt, but yeah, he's a good wide receiver for them. So right after the Cowboys deal happened, then I started just kind of, I really don't watch football anymore.
Would you ever-
It really sucks. Because, think about it. Like, if we're being totally dead serious here, because I know I haven't been heartbroken enough on this podcast over the last 10 minutes, but watching football really sucks because every commercial break, he's in a commercial. And every highlight series, it's that. And I know some people are, but just imagine if you were in my position on that. Like, it blows. Every time I go to Walmart,
Right.
the other day I went to a gas station. I walk in, the person in front of me is getting chewed out by the cashier. Cashier's a Saints fan. Oh no, a Cowboys fan. He's a Saints fan. I walk in behind him, and the cashier looks behind him and goes, "Come on, help me out. Show some love for my Cowboys and my quarterback." And I'm like, "You got the wrong guy. You got the wrong man."
couldn't have picked a
And
worse
then,
person to
and
ask
they,
that.
they play a game, and it's like everyone, and there's a million things I could tell you about him that I won't. But every time you go online, everyone's praising everything about him. And so from my perspective, I'm sitting here with two girls in a house, in a completely broken family at times. And it's like, it sucks most days.
Yeah.
Would you
So
ever?
I don't really watch any football.
Would you ever consider going back and watching the Cowboys if Dak ever leaves? Would you be a Cowboys fan instantly?
Yeah.
Again.
Do you have any words for Dak Prescott?
No. It's fine. Like I said, he and I have talked before, when the whole thing kind of happened. It is what it is.
Did you threaten him? Like, I'm going
No.
to beat you up? Could you beat up Dak?
No.
I think you could.
I've never gotten a fight in my life. It's not really about that. Like my whole thing with that in general, it's just like I'm just not that kind of a guy.
Yeah.
So especially now that I've been single for a year, there's been a lot of girls that I could have potentially done any whatever with that are in a relationship, or certainly I can't respect that. Not him, but anybody who would willingly and actively attempt to ruin a family. And I'm not saying that I did everything right and I had a perfect family, because I didn't. But I don't care who they are or what transpires. I just can't respect someone that will actively,
Home wreck.
for no reason, like with no
Especially a
long-term goal.
family,
Yeah, exactly. And there's our whole deal. That lasted years. That was so much more than just after he got drafted and after he got money. It was long before that.
You remember when I took over your Tinder?
I do, yeah.
So
Terrible day.
How is the dating scene?
On Tinder,
No, in general for you.
it's good, man. I got my fake teeth in, and things have been going good. It's really dating really
Has
sucks.
it changed?
Yeah. I'm being dead serious. It's been really good, but I'm not interested in that in dating. I'm really not.
Have you ever gotten one of your dates introduced to your girls? Or
No,
you
no.
what point would you introduce them?
I've never even I've talked to one girl in the year, like, where I've actively like went on dates with, and we were we went on, several dates over the course of like 3 months, and not even then would I consider it. Just because I don't feel like, and that's an issue with dating when you have kids. It's like most girls and most women that you talk to, when they find out you have kids, then they don't want any part of it. So it is tough to date when you have kids.
How do you bring that up? Do you bring it up in a first date?
Honestly, most people already know.
Yeah, you gotta.
Is it in your Tinder profile?
No, I don't have the girls on Tinder.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
If it comes up, but my thing is when I'm dating somebody, it's like I'm not asking you to be their stepmom. Like you literally don't even have to meet them. And
it's a weird thing to deal with now because these two are married. And I'm
Idiots,
single.
right?
I've got a kid.
Come here.
Yeah,
My wife is the one on the
hey.
camera.
yeah, oh, hi. Sorry. Yeah. So,
She's great. You got the one good one, and I bet you did too.
and you know what?
Don't be
I
careful.
love how you have the one good one. Also, you're okay.
No, I don't know. I don't know your wife. I'm sure.
Yeah,
that
she
you did
she
great
could be
as
a piece
well.
of trash.
But if there's one good
What are
one,
you talking about?
Let's talk about everyone's relationship problems while we're at it. Look, can we just go down the line?
Oh wait, we don't have any.
Well, yeah. Now we don't. You're right.
That is horse crap.
We're rolling.
That is such horse crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Dating sucks, man.
Yeah,
I hate it.
And it's so weird, like because every time that I would start talking to a girl or something, the first thing in my mind is like, would I introduce her to my kids?
Yeah.
And that's something that you really have to.
How many kids do you have, Johnny?
Johnny, how many kids do you have?
Well, I was
You said
talking
kids.
about in perspective for him. He's got multiple. I've got one.
You said
so wait,
you, though.
Are you asking when to introduce the date to his kids?
Yeah, why would you do that?
My date to his kids. Yeah.
Yeah, why would you introduce your date to his kids?
Well, because that's how it works.
yeah.
My
Well, the
kids are
dating
very-
scene has changed.
I would be okay with my kids meeting your date.
Yeah.
That'd be an
My
interesting
kids are
conversation.
funny. They're very nice. They never met a stranger.
So would you allow? So let's say down the line.
I think
you
it would
meet-
have to be like engagement type level.
Yeah, but would you
relationship.
ever allow them to say like, what would they call her? Just by her name?
By
or?
her name? Yeah,
Okay.
never any mom. Because honestly, they have a great mom. And they love her a lot. So, I would. Part of it is respect to her. A lot of times with the kids, especially, that respect hasn't been returned to me, and that makes me upset. So I often think, well, if I'm this upset, it would make her upset, and I don't want to do that. So like I said, I was talking with a girl for a relatively long time, long enough reasonably to meet my kids, and I wouldn't want them to meet somebody unless I knew for sure, because there's no reason for that. There's no reason for. I don't feel like there's no reason for the kids to have any type of relationship with somebody unless it's a for sure thing.
It's not healthy to see just random faces.
Absolutely.
And stuff on
Not
it.
at all.
So do you think your girls are ever gonna follow your footsteps into radio?
No.
No. Would
My
you
kids
allow
hate
it?
it. They hate it. They hate everything about it. My oldest daughter told me a few weeks ago she's with me at the radio station every day I have her, and she hates it. She's so over
she's
it.
growing
It's not
up to
cool.
despise
It's not
radio.
cool. It's like she said, "Why can't you have a normal job like at a bank?"
I love what kids think are like real jobs.
Yeah, right.
'Cause that's where the money is.
That's where the money's
Right.
at.
Literally.
You could be holding it.
Yeah. No, they don't like it. They don't. My youngest still sometimes thinks it's cool, and I talk about her, and
She'll
she
grow
hears
out of it.
Give her some time. Give her some more time around her older sister. But
The older sister, what do you think she's gonna be?
she'll be whatever she wants to be. She's so good.
Is she
She's-
leaning towards like a certain thing right now?
She loves animals and space. So
So she could be
veterinarian,
launching animals into space.
Perfect.
By the time she gets old enough, who knows what the
could
world,
be,
who knows
yeah.
what the capabilities would
Who
be.
knows what Trump's going to do tomorrow? He might literally just start launching animals into space and be like, Space Force.
I'm gonna get your daughter a rocket and a kitten for Christmas.
She loves that stuff. My oldest, I tell her that all the time though. They're like, it doesn't matter what she wants to be. Like I know she'll do it, and I know every parent says that about their kids. So I know I'm not reinventing the wheel
Not
here.
every parent.
Yeah.
When you want to be an actor all your life, you kind of hear the crap of it.
Well, totally. But even if she doesn't, either one of my daughters, even if they don't get to where they want to go, as long as they, give it their best.
Try.
That's what I tell any kid or anybody that I'm talking with. It's like, as long as you do it, then in a way you did it,
Yeah.
even if you didn't make it. Because you went for it.
You know all
know what I'm
about
saying?
that.
Yeah, we constantly don't make it.
Same,
Professional failures.
So what's the next step? I know you don't have like a 5-year, 10-year kind of idea, but what's the next step?
I'm loving work, man. I have a really great job. Everything's kind of lining up, man. I'm going to keep selling out for apartments and fake teeth. And I'm going to stop watching football altogether now after this. A lot of emotions have resurfaced that I had purposely buried for months after today.
Johnny, why would you bring this up?
Was it my idea to begin with?
Yeah, dude.
It
God,
was?
you're so rude.
No,
think
I
it
don't.
was,
Like I said,
actually.
man, work is good. Next year, I'm going to stop doing the clubs. Finally, I've been doing clubs since I was like 19.
Is that affecting your hearing?
Yeah.
Do you have like a constant ringing in your ear?
What?
You just smell smoke,
What?
cigarette smoke, and sweat all the time.
I can't. My right ear is totally gone. It's completely. It doesn't exist. You can cut it off. I
That's
wouldn't
why
even
you've
feel
been
it.
ignoring Bobby
Yep.
this whole time.
Oh, it's perfect.
Ever since I saw the hoodie, I said this isn't going to work out today. You know, the Bobby J interactions.
Well, what's funny is we
Phantom
actually,
Menace.
when I sent a very distasteful joke to Josh about
There's
the
so
whole
many. I don't.
Cowboys thing.
Yeah.
And he called me and he was like, dude, what if we ask him for a comment?
It's funny. This shows you how much I love you guys. 'Cause I did a podcast, a really great podcast, and I'm going to plug them right now if you don't mind. But they're Thoughts from the Cheap Seats. They're a local group, and they're really good dudes. They asked me to be on, and they gave me like, here's what we're going to talk about. And they also kind of had that, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
How does everyone
No
know? I
Cowboys
don't
talk.
understand how everyone knows.
We win. It was a competition and we win. Hey, you said you had a
did.
challenge for me
And I
last
still
time.
Oh.
do. I did, and I still do.
So what is this?
So I was trying to find a way to segue into that. I'm glad you did. So
You did segue into Phantom Menace so well. You were just preoccupied with that
I feel like you've just been
segue.
sitting there waiting to say Phantom Menace again.
So I am challenging you since you're so competitive. How old is Violet?
She's
Like
4
5.
What's today? The 26th?
She
She
was
just
barely
turned 4
born.
months old.
That she's still just fresh out of the womb. Okay. So her and the McSharma's baby are the same age. We'll say that.
Okay.
Pretty much. I
we'll
mean, they're
say-
4 months apart.
Sure.
Right. Potato, potato. I
Yeah.
mean, when you get to be our age, 4 months is nothing, right? Cool. I challenge you to raise a better child.
Then Jacob and Jaya?
Yeah.
Okay, but
The odds are stacked
they
against
have
you.
me beat by a.
The baby has the baby has
They
to
got
be
me beat
smarter,
by a long shot right now.
more athletic, more caring. Her job has to be better. She has to marry a NFL player.
Easy.
She
Wait, at a certain point, are the babies gonna fight? Like, is that what's this leading to?
well,
Who wins?
puberty comes at different ages. So when they both hit puberty, that's when we'll actually settle it in the ring.
Oh.
Wow, this is an interesting challenge. I don't know if Jay and Jacob will agree to this.
I don't know if this will still be going by then.
This might be going by next weekend. But yeah, we're pretty much wrapped up here. I don't want any more questions. I'm done with y'all. I want to thank our guest, Jay Whatley, for coming on and
God, I have to
sharing.
pee so bad
I
right
can
now.
see it. You're sweating profusely.
It was that coffee. I downed it.
But thank you to Jay Whatley for sharing such intimate
Absolutely.
details of his life.
This was 75% fun. So
As is most of the things you do with us.
as is most of anything in
It
life,
beats the 25% fun of the last thing we did.
you're giving it a much higher
live
percentage
stream.
than I would.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment which one of us you like more. It's going to be me.
Why?
Because I like affirmation. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.